Is it right to protest against Donald Trump's visit to the UK? 0207 862 2222 is the number. The US president is travelling to Ayrshire. He's spending 4 days in Scotland starting today. He's opening a new golf course. He's meeting with the Prime Minister. It's not the official state visit, which is happening in September, but his trip is still expected to be met with big protests in Glasgow, Edinburgh and Aberdeen. Thousands of people took part in demonstrations in 2018, 2019 when he visited during his first presidency. And you might remember, permission had to be sought for this, the Trump-shaped blimp. And you might remember that Sadiq Khan, the mayor of London, was the one who had to give permission and said, yeah, it's fine, because he doesn't like him either. And then this great moment where Trump's plane, Air Force One, lands and he doesn't get out. And everyone says, what's he doing in there? Do you remember this moment?
I was there.
And the answer is he's putting a tweet out. Because before he got out the plane, Sadiq Khan, who by all accounts has done a terrible job as mayor of London, has been foolishly nasty to the visiting president of the United States, by far the most important ally of the United Kingdom. He's a stone-cold loser who should focus on crime in London.
Well, so he should.
That's a very good impression.
He's a but I always quote that. That's a great Trump. Sadiq Khan is a stone-cold loser. So, what do you think, sir?
I think it's more than it's right to protest. It's almost a duty to protest the visiting US president. Not just Trump, but Trump is an even more egregious example. The US doesn't really allow us to be a properly independent country. We have a huge number of US troops and US military bases here. We fly their...
good.
No, it's not good. We fly their nuclear weapons around them and we pay for it, and we're not allowed to have an independent foreign policy. On so many foreign policy disasters that we've had, where the British people have been right, if you look at the polling, we've not wanted to do things, but we've been forced to do them by following on with the US President and the US State Department. And Trump is just an even more violent, even more vicious example of the leader of the country that one of his predecessors, Jimmy Carter, called the most belligerent state in the world.
And what about that? So James would be on the protest picket if he was in Scotland.
Well, I think it's worth quoting what the Scottish Police Federation has had to say about this. And they simply say that the scale of the policing operation is going to stretch resources and this is what they say, could double the time taken for a police officer to attend an incident elsewhere. And I think you've got to ask, is there any proportion in this? It's not a state visit. He's coming here to visit his golf resorts, which bring money into Scotland. Is it really a sensible time to do it? Now, I don't want to stop them. I don't want to ban protest, heaven forbid. But is it sensible? No.
Should he, this is a question for Americans, should he be travelling around the world looking at his own golf courses?
Why should he not?
Well, he's president. Well, he's got a different job to do, hasn't he?
Well, the fact that he's president doesn't mean that he can't also take a look at where he's made major investments. I know. I don't see why he shouldn't.
He mixes business with pleasure the entire time. And as a way, he's a kind of perfect cipher for the US presidency, which combines massive corporate power because the US is a fabulously corrupt country with incredible levels of corporate purchase of politics, and Trump represents that.
Sorry about my sneezing. I think I saw Heather on the screen and I got some pollen.
Oh,
Nick is in Devon, beautiful Devon. You're nowhere near the Trump visit, Nick.
No, it's lovely weather down here as well. Anne should be at home, really, rather than in London, I would have thought, but never mind. What I would, just like to say, really, is that, yes, of course, it is right that we protest. We're a proper democracy. Hopefully I can say that, compared to America, who seems to have sort of digressed into some sort of peculiar austerity, or not austerity, what I'm talking about. But anyway. Authors, thank you very much, Jeremy. That's exactly it.
Well, that's not my opinion.
Well,
I'm helping you with a word. I don't know. I know what you mean.
You.
It's gone a bit weird over there.
It has. Could I just make the point also, if I may?
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't heard any of the British media talk about Epstein, haven't talked any about the British media mention the fact that his ratings now are 40% the second quarter approval rating, which is historically below any president at any time. He's a very unpopular person.
But he doesn't care because he's living his best life, because he can only do 8 years. So he's won 2 elections. He's a historic figure. He's probably the most important, consequential figure of the 21st century. And Epstein and his figures probably don't matter to him one jot, Nick.
Well, yeah, but he is still a very unsuitable person for public office, and I think most people recognise that, and I think that is worth protesting about.
I'd forgotten it was Theresa May he met last time. Oh, that's an interesting one.
Yeah.
It's all gone quiet in here.
Well, yes, I mean, I'm not certain what sort of reaction you expect.
Well, I just think it would be, I don't know, she's never been one for small talk. Let me put it like that.
Absolutely not.
No.
Tell me about it sometime.
So it probably was as quiet as we were just then. Thank you, Nick. Patrick in Glasgow, hello.
Hello. Good.
Are you lining up? You're going to be quite close to Trump, aren't you, in Glasgow?
No, I won't be able to go there.
Where are you then, Patrick?
I'm near somewhere near Scotland.
Somewhere where?
Scotland.
So you won't be heading down to the golf course?
No, but I agree with other people protesting against him.
You agree with it?
Yeah, I agree with it.
Isn't it one of those ones where you... I'll take the other side of the argument, Patrick, which is that you want him to have a good trip to Scotland so he comes back and builds another golf course.
I think we should ban him from Scotland.
Why would you ban him?
Ban his golf courses?
What reason would you give him?
I don't know. I'll just ban him anyway.
Just ban him anyway. That's good. Ban from Scotland would be a thing.
Another thing I was going to say. Another thing I wanted to say is, see that other thing about that other guy. I think he's telling porcupines about that.
Oh, Epstein.
Yeah, I think he's telling porcupines.
Well, do you know, I should have said the last caller said. So we're not mentioning. We're going to talk about Epstein later, because I know it's kicking off in the USA in a way that's big, this Epstein story. So we'll discuss that. Thank you, Patrick. Jack in Cheshire, hi.
Good morning, Jeremy. My feeling is he's too divisive, and the very fact there's already been an attempt on his life over in the USA says everything. Quite seriously.
At least 2, by the way.
And does this not mean that some nice, kind person, meaning well to the rest of us, may just turn up with a gun and maybe an innocent person gets hurt? Now, that's what I'm genuinely worried about.
You're worried? You'd be worried about Trump being shot as well, surely, wouldn't you?
No, not really.
Oh.
He's the worst thing to have landed in the county of Ayrshire. We're talking about the county that gave us a great breed of dairy cow. We're talking about the county that gave us tarmac. The first tarmac top road ever in the UK was at Muirkirk in the northeast.
Is it what they call Tarmacadam, is it, Jack?
Yeah.
Tarmacadam was Muirhead. Didn't know that.
No, Muirkirk.
Muirkirk. Thank you, Jack. I don't think generally speaking, I think wanting Trump dead by sniper is a bad thing to say. Not least, I think if the guy was called Thomas Crooks who shot him in the ear, if he'd hit him and killed him, I think they would have had some sort of micro-revolution there or something. It would have been horrific.
Civil unrest would have been immense.
It would have been, because half the country would have thought Biden was behind it, and you don't even want to... I don't know why.
But even aside with civil unrest, you don't want to go shooting people.
No, exactly. And also the other thing, he is seeking election. I mean, that's how these things work. Denise in Berkshire, hello. What a show we've got today. Hi, Denise.
Hi. Trump loves attention, good or bad, and I think the best thing would have been for everybody to have just nobody turned up, had complete silence. The shops either close or for a short time, or close bring their shutters down. I think that would have sent the better message to Trump that nobody was interested, because that he wants the attention, good or bad, he wants it, because if it's bad, he will use it to his own benefit.
Yeah.
And
you're right. I mean, listen, I don't have a view on whether he needs to be made to feel uncomfortable. But you're right. The most painful thing for Trump is to have no crowd. You're so right. But then I don't think you could organise that, James, in Scotland, could you? You could say everyone stay indoors and close your curtains.
Well, so the argument there is protest him, but protest him in a different way. I like the idea. I think it's very clever, but it only takes a few people to make a bit of noise, and it cuts off the fact that everyone stayed home for the day. I think
sort of a
Trump-style stay home.
And also, if I was a parent of young kids in Glasgow and everyone had basically cleared off, I'd think, well, this is great. You could show your children what they call the Beast, which is the Trump car, which is delivered by Air Force One. You can see if you can catch the sight of this guy's toupee or whatever it is.
If his golf resorts just closed, Scotland wouldn't suffer. I mean, he's here because he's made a major investment in Scotland. And I don't think you can just talk about it that dismissively. I mean, my view is he's, the President of the United States. This is a private visit. There will be a state visit coming up. And maybe that's the time to reserve for protest.
I understand. However, when he put the tariffs in, there was very big tariffs put on Vietnam because he saw them as a conduit for China. The Vietnamese got in touch with the White House and said, you're going to kill us with these. And the Trump team said, in that case, allow us to build a massive resort. It was launched. Donald Trump Jr. went over. It's all been signed. It was a shakedown.
What's that got to do with Scotland?
Because once you start saying
he gave
we
us
curry
favour
by helping him with his golf courses, are you not encouraging some kind of corruption, James?
Of course you are, but it already is furiously corrupt. I mean, we saw that in Qatar and in the Gulf states tour that he went to. That's sort of the model I think he wants.
Well, where he came back with a plane.
Well, I think it's less the plane. I think it's more the investment opportunities and business deals for his family. The plane, I think, is kind of a side issue. It just represents it. But this is the problem, and we must avoid this at all costs in Britain, British politics, is that US politics is so expensive and anybody can spend as much money as they want. It corrupts it totally.
Would the new Jeremy Corbyn party, known for now as your party, seize Trump's golf resorts?
That would be a decision for a democratic...
I love that you think about it. I love he thinks about it.
That would be a decision for a democratic conference. I think that I don't want to ban him from coming to the country, but just for context, because when you hear Trump's going to be banned or your caller saying that Trump should be banned, that sounds very extreme. But Trump has banned people from a whole range of countries from ever coming to the US.
It's our major ally. The US is our major ally, both militarily,
we're a vassal.
Economically.
We're a vassal. We're not an independent country. I want to be an.
You are just joking. We were vassals when we were part of the EU.
I want to be an independent country. I want us to be able to make our own decisions, exactly the same way that you say you do, but you're happy to follow the US.
Robert is in Glasgow. You can have the last word on this, Robert. Are you protesting?
I think the whole of Scotland will be protesting. The guy shouldn't be here. He's the most corrupt president ever, I would say.
Yeah, but then he's built golf courses that benefit Scotland.
Scotland, quite. You could say thank you.
And so you should say thank you.
To him anyway, and because if you take it, he's Trump Tower and places like that, they're all built with money for Russia, especially Putin.
Yeah. Well, that's
he's one of his best allies. And that is where all his real estate is all came for money for Putin.
Thank you, Robert. I've got to leave it. I've just got to go to our break, but I'm so grateful for your call. And it's an interesting one that I know Trump Tower is... it is said that the Russian money helped build it when he was on his uppers. I don't know. Later, it's the papers and everything else.